Hey guys, I wanted to just be in a different angle for part two. So, pretty much, I'm going to make this short and sweet. This is what I did to plan my trip to New York, my day trip, okay? I decided that to save money, I looked on Amtrak, and I'll be honest, Amtrak is my favorite method of transport, pretty much any major city like New York, DC, because it's a train. It's a train. It's a stigma. It's a different type of clientele. You get my drift. But what I did was I went to see New York. You know, I don't mean to say see, but I went to New York, and I decided, okay, get the Amtrak train. And my train left at like 5:15 in the morning, so I had to be up, early. And then I got to the Amtrak, so it's the Monahan train station. So when you get off, the way they have it set up, you could actually go up the stairs and go out the door and go across the street if you just want to get some fresh air. Or you can stay underground and you could go, they have signs. When you watch my video, you will see they have signs. You just follow the signs, very simple. And you go to the Monahan train station area, and they have like a lounge. They have seating areas. It's really nice. They have all kinds of stores. It's amazing. It's amazing. When I tell you that you feel safe. You feel like, okay, you can collect yourself. They have restrooms. They have water fountains. It's really nice. Okay. So it's really a really nice Amtrak train station. And if you have the opportunity to do it, I would recommend it. If you live in the East Coast, definitely do that. If you live too far, then I would say maybe, be prepared to drive, or not. I would say drive if you know that you're, taking like a family road trip and you have kids. Do the road trip, do it old school. But back to what I did. So I took the Amtrak train. Then I decided to be cheap and take the Megabus coming home. Amtrak was really expensive. Like it was over $50 coming home. And I said, well, to stay one day, no. If it was the next day, I probably would have made that sacrifice. But sometimes, you have to pay for your comfort. And I was willing to be a little uncomfortable because the Megabus is fine itself. It's just that they don't have it's not like the Port Authority in New York where they have the little area where you can sit or get something to eat and you're indoors whether it's raining. With the Megabus, whether it's raining, snowing, whatever, like you're out in the element. So, but I paid, $22? So altogether I paid about $44 for the day, which is under $50, very efficient, affordable, because it was $20 for my ticket, and I think I paid an extra $2 for Amtrak. So Amtrak was $20, but then they give you the flex. So flexible, so that if you have to cancel or change, you would be able to do it without having to pay a fee or have to pay a portion of your ticket for cancellations and things like that. So I always go ahead and just pay a little extra few dollars. It's worth it, especially what if you overslept and missed your train and you need to get another one, whatever. So the morning train was about 22, and then Megabus was like, actually the Megabus was $14.99 plus the tax plus the $2 for, the seat that I chose. They charged me $2. So I want to say I might have spent 18 or something like that. Let's just say I spent under $50 because with the taxes and stuff. So under $50 to get to and from New York. I got there about 6:45 a.m. in the morning, and then my bus left at 9:15 at night. Now, the only caveat is the Amtrak is way quicker. Like you get home in an hour and some change, like maybe an hour and 15, you get to your destination. And I would have already been home, but maybe right around 11 o'clock. But I decided to get the bus, and so I didn't get home till like around 12 because the bus dropped us off at 11:30, and it felt like we didn't leave right at 9:15. It felt like we left around like 9:20 something, because I guess sometimes they rather allow people to have a chance. Like some people might be a few minutes late, and our driver was just really generous in that regard, because some drivers are on it. Like if everybody's on, we're out. And then some drivers might say we're missing a few people. They might hang around and say, let's give them a few minutes, but it depends, right? Then what I did was, the second tip is that I decided to carry a backpack. So in my backpack, I had snacks, okay? So I had my own snacks. I didn't have to buy snacks. And I also pretty much had my own breakfast. So when I arrived in New York and I took the Amtrak, I was able to sit in the Monahan. Now, that area does not open till 8 o'clock, but they do have like perimeter seating, so you can still sit like near the lounge area, not so much near the waiting area for the actual train, but if you're in the lounge area where you get to dine, then if it's before 8 a.m., some of the restaurants are open and some are not, so some might open more for lunch, but either way you can literally like sit. If you're able to wait till 8 o'clock, then you can charge your phone. They have charging stations. It's really nice. You go to the bathroom. They have pharmacies like Walgreens and stuff like that. They have Starbucks. They have other cafes. They have like a variety of things that you can find something to eat. You can buy souvenirs, yada, yada. So the third tip I would say is so the first tip was, like looking around, maybe getting a one-way ticket, essentially. Like you might say, if you're from Philadelphia area or the Jersey or Delaware area, you may want to say, okay, go to 30th Street Station and get an Amtrak ticket, or, and get a round trip. But I would always say just do one way, and then that way you can, and do it a couple of days ahead, so then you can figure it out if you want. Second tip, if you can, pack your own food and allow maybe one meal if you're trying to be cheap. So I ate out once. And I always try to support Black-owned business. So or I don't necessarily have to say always Black-owned, but I like supporting Black-owned or Black and brown, okay? So I went to a vegan restaurant, and you have to watch my video to find out where I went. And then thirdly, I would say pack your patience in New York. New York can be very overwhelming, and it can be very overly stimulating. So what you want to do is, before you go on your trip, write out what you have, what's a non-negotiable of what you want to do, and make sure that when you do it, Google Map the distance, like, so that way you can see how many miles, how long does it take to walk, and the comparison of the train or the buses. Also, be prepared to take public take the MTA. Like, New York has one of the best public transportations ever. They have trains, they have buses, they have ferries, they have, you name it. Because if you drive, you can, but you have to be prepared that maybe you're paying for parking, or maybe you're willing to drive to like maybe Jersey, or maybe you're driving to a certain borough and parking, like, I don't know. But I would recommend to do not use Uber and Lyft, because you're going to be stuck in traffic, and only when you have to. And I would just say get the public trans. And the way they have it now is you don't even need a Metro card, right? I was actually, in my video, I mentioned that, but I didn't get a chance to do it because I said, well, that's for the nostalgia. To get the Metro card, because at one point that's what you had to have. You had to have a Metro card, and you had to calculate how much you needed. Now, with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Play, whatever kind of phone you have, whatever Play that you have, as long as you have a wallet on your phone, add your method that you want to use to pay and tap. It's so much easier, so much safer. You don't have to worry about, trying to pull out something out of your wallet, thinking you're going to get robbed and things like that. So, excuse me, those are my tips on safe travel to New York for your day trip. Okay, for your day trip. This is for solo travelers, day trip, especially for women, because men can come and go, and I'm not saying that they don't have to worry about their safety. Everybody should worry about their safety, but as a woman, there's always this perception like, wait, is she by herself? So just be mindful, but the good thing about New York, because there's so many people there, like, people are not really paying that much of attention like they would in other cities, like other more smaller towns, or like more like southern towns. They'll be like, oh, honey, are you okay? You're by yourself? Listen, New York, they're like, she could be going on the audition. They don't care. But just be mindful that as a woman, protect yourself at all times. Be careful how much information you give to people. You can give surface information, stuff that it's like generic that anybody can know about you. But you don't have to tell them your whole life story. And really, they don't care. It's New York. But I would definitely say if you're going to do a New York trip, figure out what are your non-negotiables as far as like what you must do, and make sure that you try to do that first or incorporate it as best as you can. And then the good thing is, what you didn't get to do, keep that as something to do the next time. All right, guys, so this was part 2 of my video, of my introduction. Now, the next video that you will see is my actual day trip. Dun, 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 dun. So stay tuned. Please subscribe to Octavia's Palace. Like, comment, share, spread the word. Also, vote for me, Lauren Graham, your favorite chef. It's Carla Halls presents Favorite Chef. I have been selected, and I am asking for your vote. Please make sure you vote for me. I would greatly appreciate it. And check out all this excellence on the wall. This one right here is a puzzle. I put this together. I put that one together and this one. And then this is dance, as you will see, as you get to know me. And look, look, look. I'm working on one right now. Stay tuned. And also, Te amo. Love you guys with the bottom of my heart. And if no one has told you today, you are important. You do matter. Find what brings you joy and make sure you make time for it. Self-love is not selfish. And see me on the next video of my day trip to Harlem Renaissance. And the last thing I would say is, if you made it this far to this video, hashtag we want Harlem.